Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the psychology of people who spread lies about you and what's really going on in their mind. And I think this is such an important topic because being lied about is one of the most painful experiences, and understanding why people do it can help you process it and protect your peace. So if you've ever had someone spread lies about you, or if you're dealing with this right now and you're trying to understand why someone would do this, stick with me because this video is going to give you clarity. Because I'm going to break down the real psychology behind people who spread lies, and I promise you, it has way more to do with them than it has to do with you. The first thing you need to understand about people who spread lies about you is that they're operating from a place of deep insecurity, and tearing you down makes them feel better about themselves. When someone feels inadequate, threatened, or inferior in some way, they often try to level the playing field by damaging your reputation so that you're brought down to where they perceive themselves to be. It's not about the truth. It's about making themselves feel less small by making you look small, and the lies they spread are usually a reflection of their own insecurities projected onto you. And here's the thing, people who are secure in themselves don't need to tear others down. They don't need to spread lies, and they don't feel threatened by other people's success or happiness. When someone spreads lies about you, what they're really saying is, I feel threatened by you, I feel less than you, and the only way I know how to cope with that is to try to destroy you. If you can understand this, it becomes easier to not take it personally because the lies aren't really about you. They're about the person's inability to deal with their own feelings of inadequacy. The second thing about people who spread lies is that they're often trying to control the narrative and manipulate how others see you because they fear losing power, influence, or relationships. When someone feels like they're losing control over a situation or losing their position in a social group, they may spread lies about you to turn people against you and maintain their power. This is especially common in situations where you've set boundaries with them, called them out on their behavior, or simply stopped giving them the attention or validation they were getting from you. And here's what happens. They realize they can't control you anymore, so they try to control how other people see you by spreading lies that paint you as the problem instead of them. The lies are a manipulation tactic designed to isolate you, discredit you, and make sure that if you try to speak your truth, no one will believe you because they've already poisoned the well. When you recognize this pattern, you can see that the lies aren't random, they're strategic, and they're designed to protect the person's image and maintain their control over the narrative and the people around them. The third thing about people who spread lies is that they're often projecting their own behavior, their own flaws, or their own guilt onto you to deflect attention away from themselves. Projection is a psychological defense mechanism where people accuse others of the exact things they're doing themselves because it helps them avoid taking responsibility for their own actions. So if someone is lying, cheating, manipulating, or being toxic, they may spread lies accusing you of those exact behaviors to shift the focus away from what they're actually doing. And here's the twisted part. By accusing you first, they create confusion and doubt, which makes it harder for people to see the truth about what's really happening and who's actually at fault. When someone spreads lies about you that seem to describe their own behavior, that's a huge red flag that you're dealing with projection, and it's their way of avoiding accountability for their own actions. If you can recognize projection, you can stop internalizing the lies and start seeing them for what they really are, which is the person's attempt to avoid facing their own truth. The fourth thing about people who spread lies is that they're seeking attention, sympathy, or validation from others, and playing the victim by lying about you gives them the emotional supply they're craving. Some people thrive on drama. They thrive on being the center of attention, and they've learned that playing the victim and creating conflict gets them the attention and sympathy they desperately need. So they spread lies about you to create a story where they're the innocent victim and you're the villain, and this allows them to get sympathy, support, and validation from people who don't know the truth. And here's what's important to understand. These people aren't interested in the truth. They're interested in the emotional payoff they get from being seen as the victim and having people rally around them. The lies they spread aren't about resolving conflict or seeking justice. They're about feeding their need for attention and creating a narrative where they're always the wronged party and everyone else is against them. When you understand this, you can stop trying to defend yourself to people who don't want to hear the truth, because they're not looking for truth, they're looking for drama and attention. The fifth thing about people who spread lies is that they often have a pattern of doing this to multiple people, and you're not the first person they've lied about, and you won't be the last. People who spread lies habitually have a pattern of burning bridges, creating conflict, and leaving a trail of damaged relationships behind them, because this is how they operate in the world. If you look closely at their history, you'll often find that they've had falling outs with multiple people, they always have an enemy, and they always have a story about how someone wronged them. And here's the pattern: they're never the problem, it's always everyone else. And if you listen to their stories, everyone they've ever been close to has somehow betrayed them or hurt them. When you see this pattern, you realize that the lies they're spreading about you are just part of their ongoing cycle, and eventually people will see the pattern and realize the common denominator is them. The truth has a way of coming out over time, and people who spread lies eventually expose themselves because their stories don't add up and their pattern becomes impossible to ignore. Now, I want to be clear here. Being lied about is incredibly painful, and I'm not minimizing that pain or suggesting that you should just ignore it and move on without processing what happened. But what I am saying is that understanding the psychology behind why people spread lies can help you stop taking it personally and stop giving them power over your peace and your sense of self. The lies say everything about the person spreading them and nothing about you. And the people who truly know you and truly matter will see through the lies and stand by you. So that's all I have for this one. If you found this helpful or if it resonated with you, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Let me know in the comments, have you ever had someone spread lies about you? And how did you handle it? I'd love to hear your experiences and what helped you get through it. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.